Welcome to My Model Railway update April 2020. So here we are. Now just a bit of a recap because it's been a whole month since I've done anything. First of all, we started the month with just a simple oval and as you can see there it is, a nice simple oval going all the way around. So the first thing I wanted to do was create a second track, and so I started with the track that I had, and as you can see that's the outside track. The only problem is, as you can see, we ran out of track, so that is where it ended, and it ended here. And so I literally ran out of track, and also for the station and a couple of sidings. And obviously everybody knows what's been happening in April 2020. We've got the lockdown. I did buy a few things on online, but pretty soon things shops started to run out of stock, so unfortunately I couldn't get things. I've got a few things on order. I've got 25 yard long pieces of track, flexi track on order, not come through yet. I've got some double straights on order, not come through. I've also got some sort of small radius curves like this one, not come over, not come yet. So I'm just waiting. So what have I done? Well, the first thing I've done is realise that I can't actually reach that back corner. So I took the board off propped it up so I could reach the back corner, and then promptly started to make a lot of buildings. So basically I made, if I can just zoom in a little bit, these buildings here at the back. So they're low relief Metcalfe terraced houses in stone. I've managed to get 4 so far, and again Metcalfe have closed down, so I can't just order from Metcalfe, and I've managed to go on lots and lots of websites of shops, eBay, etc., and I've managed to get 4 so far. And in fact I had another one on order, but I've just had my money returned because they've gone out of stock. So it's such a shame. It's really hard to get hold of, but still I did enough there, and the rest of them that I'm going to put along here I can actually reach over from the end of the board. The other thing I did is I've got some fencing there, which is going to separate the houses from the track. And then if we go in a bit closer, next to that we've got some, I'm hoping it's focusing not too well. We have some trees and a church, and that church is really old. And then, as you can see, we've got next to the church, I've got a couple of signs. Now there's 2 signs that I put up there. If I can sort of zoom in, it's very dark. That's coming to another part really I need to do. We've got 2, and I thought, hey, why not? It's that time of year. It's what we're going through, so I thought, hey, put it up. And then there's a bit more sense as I come round next to the building at the end. You'll see there is another sign. Hopefully it will focus. And there it says it's like milk but made for humans, and I'm afraid that's a little bit of a vegan reference because I come from a family of vegans who have taught me into it, mainly because I'd have to buy my own food if I didn't. And also there is a post office. Now just there, the post office, and next building is a model of Downing Street. Okay, so 2 stories. First of all, the post office and the Downing Street come from Kingsway Models. So if you look online, Kingsway Models, they do sell models similar to Metcalfe, but they also do a couple of free kits. These are 00 gauge, and so simply what I did was, when I printed them out, I printed them in 50% scale, giving me what is N gauge. You then print them out, stick them onto card, and they're stuck onto Weetabix boxes. and then they are glued together similar to Metcalfe. Obviously, you know, you try hard, but they're not the quality of Metcalfe, but that could also be my model making. And then the other problem with Downing Street is I just finished making it. I put it on the side and I was doing another job. I looked round and saw my little dog there, and I said, "Oh, what are you chewing on?" And found out he was actually chewing on this model. I managed to get it off him and repair it a little bit, but as you can see, it's still quite beaten. Okay, next to that, we come into some Metcalfe buildings. I picked those 4 up from eBay. Quite nice. They went together okay. And then I did manage to get this one from a model shop, which is a cinema. So I've done a few things. Oh, and then the fencing there. The fencing is, again, some Kestrel fencing I picked up from eBay, which has done quite a bit. It's done quite a long way down there. So I'm quite pleased with that. And then also, if you look really closely, you might see some people. Perhaps here is a bit easier. Now look, someone sat on the fence. And also just there's someone watching the trains. And as you look down the high street, you'll see at the end near the post office there's a little post box and somebody's posting something through. And then I've put a couple of people. I've not put too many because quite honestly it's so far away you can't see, and I'll use them up here. So the final thing that I did was obviously, and I used one of these, I love these, I managed to get a few, these old switches, Hornby switches, and as you can see when you switch it on, I put a little light there as well, just for the heck of it, and I put some lights in the buildings, so there we go, just to give that little bit obviously of lighting. So in the church there, and I will point out that church was actually made about 30 years ago when I first had an N-Gage, and I used Quality Street wrappers to use to colour the windows to sort of give the stained glass effect. And then down here, I didn't put any lights in the 2 Kingsway models, but then I put some in there. I put a blue one in the cinema, the Regal Cinema, because I just thought, yeah, it's a cinema, it'll be different. And then the green one was Greenwoods, and I thought, hey, why not have a green light in there? And then the others have just got standard white, and I think I used a yellow in one of the shops as well. So I just did that. Now the background, I just printed out a couple of pictures of sky. Didn't like it, so I didn't do any more. I've just left those on there, and I'll probably do something at a later date. So that's it. That's what I've been doing all April. And obviously underneath the board there is a mass of bus wires for the 12 volt lights, bus wires for the 16 volt DCC has been put under as well. There's been droppers put. You can see, when I ballast I'll have to hide them. Where are they? There they are. So you can see I've put some droppers in different places, and there's a couple on the other side as well, and that's it. That's what I've been doing all April in the lockdown, because I'm one of those people very, very, very fortunate still to be working. So I can work from home, which means that I do work, unfortunately, quite long hours, but at least I do get to do something on the layout when time permits. Okay, a couple of other things. So the board at the moment ends here. I'm going to put, as soon as I get some more track, I'm going to put an oval here just to square off the circle, and so I can run trains. But the plan eventually is, once I've cleared my son out and his guitars and managed to get some more space, is to bring that board all the way up to the door and then have a run round, but also a terminus station, which should be quite a long terminus station. I really like that idea. I'll have a little station here, and then eventually phase 3 will be, the main station is phase 2, will be to extend this board down to the window, right down there, and then run a track off there and just a loop round there at the end, and see what and just sort of have a longer run. And then maybe now when I get my office back, which should be very soon, you never know, I might end up going round the room. But anyway, for now, and be quiet so the wife doesn't hear that. So for now, definitely this is phase 1, and as you can see I've got to finish that off. But this has been April. I'm sorry if it's gone on a long time, this video, but wow, it's had some work done to it. Not all that you can see, but certainly had some work, even if just finding the stuff to build. Anyway, so that's it. That is April 2020, and I've got some great things that I've bought through, plans for how to make things from scratch, and I might do a couple of videos on things I make as well. But for now, please check back in the end of the end of May, that's where we are now, and see what I've done in May. But please check back and you know, and leave me any comments if you see anything and you think, oh, you could have done that or that better, or why not try this, then that would be fantastic if you could let me know. But thanks for watching.